correct. The float is correct. The above average, the gap is correct. Excuse me. But the news catalyst and the volume is now getting on the crowded side once we've crossed over 1 million shares pre-market. So that's not ideal. We can come back to it. Going down, next one is VLRX, 7 million share float, also 1 million shares of pre-market volume, up 20%. Pre-market high is around 270. It's not a super interesting daily chart. It's also one that has a history of some big red days. So it's below the VWAP. It's been selling off pre-market here at this point now. So again, iffy. Let's keep going down. Gene, traded this one many times. Right now it doesn't have any volume pre-market, so I would keep it on watch, but skip over it for right now. NLTX, not much volume. I'm going to skip over that one also. DRD, the float's too high. WAFU, WAFU. I've never heard of this company before. Pre-market high is 415. All-time highs on it back here are 476. Oh, okay, I'll come back to this one. MDJH, thanks. WAFU, like Gene, it's a maybe. But one of the things that we sometimes notice are recent IPO breakouts. So this would classify as a recent IPO. Let's see. It's a Chinese company, which I guess makes sense. Okay, so, again, somewhat interesting, low float. It's got a little bit of price action. I don't see a catalyst, so it's probably not going to end up doing a lot, but you never know. MDJH, let's go back to that one. Okay, so 309, 18% gap, 1.4 million share float, pre-market high way up here at 396. It's back at 3, so it's pulled back a bit. It is a former runner with a history of making big moves, which is good. But it's already given back a good amount of its pre-market gains. So I will put it up on the watch list, MDJH, as a maybe. There might be something there on it, but I'm not really sure. This one really shouldn't even be on here as a oil fund. I try to filter those out because I don't trade funds and ETFs in that way. Going down a little further, IPWR gapping up 6%, pretty low float. Take a quick peek at it. That might be one of those ones that right now, I'm not really seriously looking at. But if the bell rings and at 9:45 it hits the scanner and it starts surging up, well, then it might be something that I want to jump and take a look at. Yuma, a bounce off the lows. Going back to MDJH, yes, I think that let's look at the pivots on this. We've got about 10 minutes to the bell right now. So we can break this one down. Okay. Yes, I agree that there's a pivot there at 339, 340. There may be a small one here at 310 as well. So 310. The VWAP is up here around 318. So yeah, I don't know, maybe. Going back to VLRX, my general thoughts on it are that I don't know that I really like it. It's not a particularly interesting daily chart. It has a history of popping up and drop. Well, a little bit of a history of that. Pre-market, it's already popped up and pulled back. It's below the VWAP, which is not a real good sign of strength. So I would say today, yesterday could have been a green day for me, but I overstayed my welcome a little bit and I ended up finishing the day in the red. Today, obviously, I'd like to finish the day green. If I can hit my daily goal and make $2,000, that's terrific. If I come up a little shy and make only 500 or 1,000, that's still okay. Green day is definitely better than a red day and definitely better than back-to-back red days. If we see something start to really open up, I'll be aggressive. And I made $8,000 on Tuesday and could certainly have that happen again today if we see some good opportunities. But, it's trade the market you're in. And if that wave of momentum is, coming at me, I'm going to jump on. I'm going to try to, make the most of it. And if it's just calm seas today and we don't see any action, then, it might not be a day where I put on too many trades or end up making a whole lot. And that's fine. I'll just, play it totally based on what's right in front of me. USOD, again, that's the U.S. oil fund. So we wouldn't. This isn't something that I would look at. It gaps up a lot. It's not going to trade like a stock because it's an ETF. So I'd leave that alone. Yeah, it shouldn't really even be on the scanner because I try to filter out those, but it, for whatever reason, has made its way on there. So my 2 cents on SINT right now is that it's looking a little bit more like Yuma yesterday than I'd like. It's already a little crowded coming into the open. It's a little on the cheaper side. Pre-market high is 260. Our only catalyst is an analyst recommendation. It's not one that I am particularly familiar with. So I'll probably just leave it alone. Yeah, did I say ECN? I meant ETF. All right, so here we go. I think final kind of last 5 minutes before the bell. SINT is a maybe. VLRX is also a maybe. Let's see. Gene is a, who knows? Maybe it goes kind of stock. I would just keep it on watch. You may know, or if you don't, it does have a history of, as you can see on the chart, making some pretty big moves. So for that reason, it's always worth keeping an eye on when it pops up. But WAFU, both of these are, they're kind of like Hail Mary type of stocks. They're stocks that they'll either do something pretty impressive or they'll do nothing at all, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Speaking of my opinion, I'll just put my disclaimer here for you guys on YouTube and Facebook. Of course, everyone in the community, in the chat room, you guys already agreed to the disclaimer by being in the room. But for those watching and streaming on Facebook and YouTube, I just want you to see the disclaimer. And of course, you can see it on our website if you come over and visit it. Okay, so that's kind of the game plan here. About 4 minutes to the bell, so I'll let you guys refill the cup of coffee. And it's here in California, just barely starting to become light out. So I'm just gonna be trading here on my traveling trading station. Try to do the best I can this morning and make a little bit of money. All right, so that's the game plan here with about 3.5 minutes to the bell. Well, I think it's going to be, maybe a little bit of a slow start to the day. I can pull up MDJH again. My issue with this one was, it was a little bit, at the time when I was first looking at it, it was a little bit below the VWAP. It's now reclaimed the VWAP, so that's nice to see. The high coming back up is 345. So that's one to keep an eye on. I would say it's a decent catalyst in my opinion. It's better than, I think it's better than the SINT catalyst. But, the market is interpreting the SINT one a little bit better. Alright, let me pop out another set of screens here. Oops, cancel that. Oops, cancel that. What am I doing? There we go. Detached. Detach page. Alright, so MDJH, I'll put that one over there. So MDJH, typically I'd probably be thinking $0.50. You can see the $0.50 broke. I mean, obviously, you guys can see it. I don't have to say it, but 372 is the high, 350 by 369. I think for me, with this pre-market high way up here at 396, I'm just going to give this a second. Let's see if it holds up. If it rejects and just goes right to red. Let's see, SINT. concerned that SINT is kind of taking the attention as it's up now 80%. I like MDJH, but yeah, you can see it's struggling a little bit. SINT, I don't know what level I'm really interested in it at. You know, I kind of got into this habit yesterday of buying these as they approach the whole dollar, and that didn't work super well. I kind of got myself into a little bit of a jam a couple times doing that. JAG-X, I've traded that one before and haven't done particularly well on it. I'll turn down the boing sound. It might be coming through the speakers in a funny way. So SINT, I think my question is it going to break over 3? I'll take a starter here of SINT for the break of 3. So I'm long, and I'm going to add probably at 96. Watch here over 94. Looking for 94 to break, and then quick. There we go. There we go. Want to see 3. It's struggling a little bit. Stop is 89. With this amount of volume, you would think it would be able to break 3, but look at how much volume it has right here. But of course, a rejection could be a quick drop back down to 80. I'm going to hit the bid. I'm out. Out at 93. And there's a drop to 82. So $565 on that trade. You know, if it had broken over 3, that would have been nice. But it didn't want to do it. And if I was still holding now, I'd be down 12 cents per share. So I'll keep this on watch for a 1-minute pullback. We'll see how it kind of holds these levels. It's the type where I think when it breaks 3, because of the amount of volume, it's going to snap. So it's going to have a quick rip up towards, I would expect, 310. The analyst has achieved their $3 price target pretty quickly here. So sometimes when it flushes down like that and then it comes back up, you know, it shakes out some sellers and it comes back up, and then that's where it breaks. So I'm going to have my order ready at 3. I'll let it pull back here for a second. I'm long at 95. There we go. So see how we get that quick break? So I throw out my orders to sell half, and I'm taking profit at 30. I sold some at 308, 307, 306, and I'll hold the rest now with a stop at 95, which is my cost basis. So the high of this candle, I mean, that's, you know, again, this is educated intuition. This isn't just guessing. I've seen this stuff happen a lot. I have a good sense of how these will break out. This is why, you know, you guys are here, because, you know, you can learn and you can read books, and I'm out of the rest. I hit the bid at 304. But you can't, you know, the intuition is just something that takes time. So I didn't use a hotkey. A hotkey would have potentially given me the risk of filling at 315. I used my order entry window, and I hit the buy button 1, 2, 3 times, bought 9,000 shares at 95 and 98, sold them at 308 and 309 and 303, 304, 302. So now I'm up 1,570 bucks. At this point, now it's rejected, you know, this was fine, but now it's rejected it even more firmly than the first time. So now I'm kind of done with it. probably until it gives us a 5-minute setup. But see, now I've got a profit cushion. And look at that. In the first 6 minutes of the day, I just made back, pretty much everything I lost yesterday. Not quite, but pretty close. So right now we're seeing that wave momentum. The market's a little bit hotter. The other thing here is when you have a rejection and then a rip back up, it shakes out traders and then they get back in. So then you've got more buying on that second attempt because of the people that sold that now have to buy back. And of course you have short covering. So, all right. So at this point, like I said, 314 is the high. I'm not going to probably mess around with it in this area until it's back at the highs. 5.3 million shares of volume. It's pretty crowded. So I just want to probably leave it alone and not screw up a good thing. Really for you guys, no reason you shouldn't have been able to make some money on that trade. If you bought and got filled at 315, that's a hotkey issue, that's a slippage issue, that's a speed issue. That's something you got to work on tightening up. JAGX, nice, JB, good work. Nice, Stefan. Again, like I said on JAGX, I've traded it before.